LA This Week.
In what's being described as the largest ceremony on the West Coast, the Los Angeles Fire Department is remembering the victims of the September 11th attacks. I'm Anita Bennett, and I'll take you to the ceremony just ahead.
Free shoes for the kids at Ricardo Lizarraga Elementary in South Central. I'm Anna Marcos. That's coming up.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And meet San Fernando Valley's newest council member, John S. Lee. That's coming up. Hey everyone, I'm Yana Kay. Here's what's happening on LA This Week. Los Angeles leaders mark the anniversary of the September 11th attacks with a message of hope and a vow that the city will never forget. Anita Bennett reports.
As bagpipes played in the background, hundreds of police, firefighters, and political leaders remembered fallen heroes from September 11th.
We were attacked as a nation for what we stood for. And our response is what we stand for. And what we stand for is each other.
The police chief and others gathered at the LAFD's Training Center in Elysian Park to reflect on a day that changed so many lives. A day when nearly 3,000 people died as terrorists flew passenger planes into the World Trade Center, the Pentagon, and a field in Shanksville, Pennsylvania.
We learned later that day that 3 of those 4 planes were headed to our City of Angels, and the 4th to our sister city in the north in San Francisco.
For those too young to remember the attacks, events like this bring attention to that fateful day 18 years ago.
I think it's important that we have functions like this to teach the lessons of 9/11, the sacrifices that were made to our younger people. It's very important.
Other guests in the audience included members of the City Council and the LA County Board of Supervisors.
I was back in Washington, D.C. on September 11th and watched the Pentagon burn, and actually had 2 college friends that perished in the World Trade Center. So this has a special meaning for me as well.
9/11 reminds us of those words we will never forget, and those words have been embedded in our hearts and minds even 18 years later.
Some of the people who died were first responders who rushed into burning buildings, knowing they might not make it out alive. And tragically, many did not.
To our comrades, their last alarm, they are going home.
"18 years later, the effects of the 9/11 attacks are still visible, with increased airport security and U.S. troops stationed abroad to help fight terrorism. Switching gears now, as newly elected LA City Council member John Lee was sworn in at a community inauguration ceremony. Lee, who will represent the 12th District, promised to listen to his constituents as he tackles key issues.
I always talk to him that you listen more than you talk, and I'm sure he remembers that. So as a councilman, a lot of people are going to talk to him, you listen to them, and that is my advice for him.
It's been a long time that he's been in this realm, and the fact that he deserves it.
He cares about people, he understands problems, and he's a good listener. So all those qualities that are critically important when you're electing somebody, you know, it's really hard to find that on a ballot.
I love the fact that he was born and raised here, you know, just like I was. You know, we have a true passion for delivering services to the valley.
Your newly elected Council District 12 Council Member John S. Lee.
I, John Lee,
I, John Lee,
do solemnly swear
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
that I will support the Constitution of the United States.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Council District 12 know that I am planning on going to work and to solve the many issues facing our not only our city, but this district.
I know that no one is more proud of this incredible honor that you've bestowed to him than my friend John.
We need to put parties aside, labels aside, and we need to work together. I am ready, and you have my commitment to work together on those tough problems to get these problems solved. Thank you very much, everybody.
For the first time ever, there are now 2 Asian Americans serving on the LA City Council at the same time. In an effort to lessen the risk of brush fires, city officials are hoping a new ordinance can help make a difference.
This is not some sort of anti-homeless initiative. This is an initiative directed at the safety of our city.
It's about anybody who would be in the hillsides in locations where they don't belong.
On a red flag day, which is there's an imminent fire, it will be followed up by you've got to leave, and if you don't leave, there could be enforcement action.
You know, it's always been the case that people were not allowed to be in these high-fire locations, certainly not encamped there. The police need to have the ability to have them removed, ideally, willingly.
We can now take a major step towards reducing the likelihood of encampment fires like we saw in 2017 with the Screwball fire.
When fire breaks out in those hillsides, it has the potential to be a great catastrophe.
This bill is about public safety. This is about preventing fires, plain and simple.
And if you want to help fight those fires, the Los Angeles Fire Department is looking for new recruits. To help candidates prepare for the physical ability tests, the department offers free practice courses. Anita Bennett takes a look.
Edgar Diaz has always wanted to be a Los Angeles firefighter.
It's been a childhood dream of mine. I've attempted it before, and as I mentioned earlier, I just didn't feel like I was ready for it at that time.
After trying out a few years ago, he realized he wasn't quite up to the physical demands. Now the licensed vocational nurse says he's ready to give it another try.
Once I got into the rhythm and the flow of things, I started to find my own way through the course, so I thought it was good.
Edgar was one of about a dozen candidates on a recent Wednesday at the LAFD's training center near Dodger Stadium. They were there to practice for the CPAT. That's the Candidate Physical Ability Test.
It's an opportunity for a person to come in and see what they need to work on. Again, if this career is really something they want to participate in for the future.
One of the tests that prospective candidates take is the mannequin drag, where they simulate a victim rescue. It goes something like this. And I gotta tell you, this is tough. Whew.
They also had to run with a fire hose, raise a ladder just like in the field, carry chainsaws across the room, and walk on a stair climber wearing a 50-pound vest plus additional shoulder weights.
So basically the added weight that you have, the vest is going to be simulating our breathing apparatus. The added weights on the shoulders are going to be simulating a hose pack, the helmet, glove for safety. And so you're going to be participating on basically what would be a high-rise investigation.
The 10-minute training course is free and mirrors a day in the life of a real firefighter.
So we're right now currently in the hiring process for the Los Angeles Fire Department, and it serves an opportunity for any member, for any fire service, it's not solely for LAFD, to come and participate and see if this is a career for them.
Edgar hopes he'll make the cut.
It's a profession I look up to, and I would love the opportunity to show what I have to offer, what I can bring to the city, and a city that's given me so much more.
To sign up for a session, head over to eventbrite.com and search LAFD CPAT Practice.
The free CPAT classes are held each Wednesday and occasionally on Saturdays. It's National Preparedness Month and a great time to remember to also prepare for your pets in case disaster strikes.
What this dog will do is go into a disaster area like hurricanes, earthquakes, terrorist events, It'll search on rubble or debris and try to find the missing people that are buried underneath. As soon as they indicate by barking, we get a rescue team in there to confirm that, and we can rescue the people.
Today we're at the California Science Center, and there's an exhibit here called A Dog's Tale. The fire department showed how their search and rescue dogs can find people buried in earthquake rubble. We know people would rather not get rescued than leave their pet behind, and we know that pets will risk their lives for their people, so this has to be part of true disaster planning. The most important thing about caring for your pets during a disaster is to prepare before the disaster, because you may not be home when an earthquake hits or when a fire hits your area. So you want to make sure that your pet enclosures are secure so they can't escape, nothing can fall on them, scratch them, poke them if they're in that situation. You want to make sure that your pet has ID and current vaccinations, and in your disaster preparedness bag, if you're preparing to evacuate, you want to make sure you have your pet papers, any medication the pet is on, just like you are, extra water, extra pet food, something to calm the pet down, a favorite toy. So if you're with your pet, you can relocate with your pet and have those things with you. If you're not with your pet, then at least you can secure the location, put a sign on saying I have 2 dogs inside, so that if someone comes out to rescue them, they know what to look for.
Residents of Nickerson Gardens are getting a helping hand in finding and securing a job thanks to a new Jobs Plus program.
I'm doing construction. I'm on 12-story buildings, hanging off scaffolds. So it's like, whew, it's tough, but you got to stick in there, because now it was just a job to people. Now I have a career, and it pays well. So I just encourage everybody to just take advantage of the jobs that they have around here, because it pays off at the end.
We've been awarded $3.7 million by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, called a Jobs Plus program. So we're going to be bringing access to employment specifically for residents of Nickerson Gardens. It'll be job training, job placement for careers here at Nickerson.
We've been able to come here and invest in the community with programs for the young people to make sure they can graduate and go to college. Jobs Plus program here at Nickerson Gardens will connect more than 700 residents to good-paying construction and healthcare careers between now and 2023.
Today gives us an opportunity to remind ourselves that there is good opportunities here with this type of grants that's coming from the federal government down to the local level.
Now, after you graduate, we want to make sure that folks here in Nickerson Gardens can benefit from a growing economy. Not just jobs, but careers to people in construction and healthcare.
The initiative is funded by a $3.7 million grant, which was awarded to HACLA by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development earlier this year. From jobs to housing, more beds were rolled out to help those experiencing homelessness. Folks celebrated the grand opening of the 6th Bridge housing site to open in L.A.
We are at a Bridge home in Hyde Park in South Los Angeles, 100 beds ready to go for people who are living on the streets and who are houseless.
There are thousands of men and women and children sleeping on the streets every single day because they don't have a place to live. And so this site, a Bridge Home, is going to house 100 of those people, move them directly from street into a safe place to be. You have 3 meals a day provided for you. In addition to that, you have all these other services we're going to bring to you, so that this is just your first stop, but your final stop is your own place with your own keys.
This is not a thing where we can just have a party today, turn our backs and wipe our hands. We have to engage with this facility, and we have to engage with the community of neighbors that will live here with us.
This isn't a problem we can't solve. Don't tell me we can't do things that will house our brothers and sisters. We can and we will, my friends.
This is a bright spot and a very tough problem that we all face, but history will record that we're facing it head on, and we're getting it done.
What happens when the LAPD, the LA Dodgers, and the group Shoes That Fit team up at an elementary school? Well, it not only helps kids in an economically challenged community, it also turns into a giant shoe party. Anna Marcos takes in the back-to-school shoe giveaway.
Look at that! 200 kids are trying on brand new pairs of shoes just in time for the start of the school year. And each shoebox has their name on it.
I love them and I always want to keep them on my legs.
Smiling faces and so much excitement are the order of the day as kids at Ricardo Lizarraga Elementary in South LA get ready to try on their brand new and free pairs of shoes.
You're one of the few kids who's not wearing her shoes. Why not?
I want to save them so they will get dirty.
And many of you may be wearing shoes that were handed down to you from your brother or sister, or a friend, or a yard sale. And so today, the opportunity to have a brand new pair of shoes, in some instances, it may be your first pair.
And it's not just anybody helping these kids lace up the new athletic shoes. Chief Michael Moore himself from the LAPD and LA Dodgers outfielder A.J. Pollock are waiting on them, hand and foot, you could say.
And these young people are coming from a community that is impoverished, that is challenged. In a community, sometimes the only time you see an officer is when he or she's running to a call or responding to an emergency or a crisis. And the opportunity for an officer just to stand and smile and maybe bend a knee, play a game, have some small talk with a young person is too few. Today is an opportunity to do that.
We're able to bring a lot of shoes to some really happy kids.
The shoe giveaway is a partnership between the LAPD, the LA Dodgers Foundation, and Shoes That Fit, a nonprofit group.
We have a whole measuring packet. We work with schools to make sure the kids are measured beforehand, and then we order the shoes in that size.
So it allows them to be more confident, be more active because they have a pair of shoes that fit.
We want to make sure that students are coming to school ready to learn, and one thing that they do need is the proper clothing, the proper materials to get started. Ready, set, go.
And the best part for the kids?
My shoes are fast too.
Your shoes are fast too? The kids seem to think their new shoes give them wings or something.
I go fast with my shoes, and my mom is going to be happy with them.
You think they'll make you go faster?
Yes.
For the grown-ups, speed is nice, but they also hope the new shoes give the kids a little extra bounce in their step that just may also bounce up their academic performance.
There's now also a new mobile trailer to help deliver the shoes to various schools. A helipad at the Olive View Medical Hospital in Sylmar is back in business after a much-needed restoration. It will now serve as an additional resource for firefighters during the upcoming fire season and into the future.
Welcome to the unveiling of one of our newest firefighting resources.
This helispot was inoperable due to damage that we suffered during a brush fire over a decade ago. We now have a brand new helispot.
The Northeast San Fernando Valley is very familiar with tragic devastation.
Right now we're in the most extreme part of the fire season. From our perspective, it's not if it will happen, it's just when it will happen.
This is critical because we've had historically large fires in this part of the city, such as the Mare and the Sayre and the Creek Fire.
This is what it's about. This is good government working together for the benefit of the entire region.
We are improving public safety for the residents of the Northeast San Fernando Valley and Greater Los Angeles region.
I'm also pleased to share that our new helicopter parked behind us is a 2019 Augusta Westland AW-139, which we placed into service just a few weeks ago at a cost of $18 million. Our helicopters are capable of dropping 450 gallons of water per drop and are available for response 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So in closing, your Los Angeles City and County Fire Departments are prepared for the busy brush season that's ahead of us.
If you're looking for a spot to go biking free of cars, this may be it. A pedestrian and bike path that runs along the LA riverbank in Studio City between Coldwater Canyon and Whitsett Avenue has just opened. It marks the completion of the second phase of the city's LA River Revitalization Master Plan.
Mayor Garcetti's vision, and many others, has been to bring this river back to life. And we bring it back to life a segment at a time.
Previously, there was no access to the river. It was basically gated off and used for city purposes. But now that they've been adding sections so people can bike and walk and just even some park features.
It's also a very big step forward in connecting all of these segments into one continuous, wonderful recreational asset that extends from Canoga Park all the way to Universal City and beyond.
This is access for the community as we strive to increase accessibility for every resident in the city to be close to a park within a half-mile walking distance. This also represents that huge endeavor that we're after here in the city of Los Angeles.
I look for places like this to ride with my 6-year-old daughter. People want to have safe places to go and walk and bike.
I grew up in this neighborhood, and there's a number of businesses that are just behind the LA River, so having access to it, it's been something I've been waiting for decades.
The path, which used to be a maintenance access road, features new paving, fencing, trees, and bike racks. A bridge housing facility for women opens. Television shows filmed in LA are honored, and a Caribbean festival offers up cultural and culinary delights. All this in City V. Councilmember Mitchell Farrell put the spotlight on locally made TV shows that are nominated for Emmy Awards with the Made in Hollywood honors. The awards recognize projects that keep productions in California.
This is really something to celebrate. These are jobs in the tens of thousands that have come back to the city of Los Angeles and to the region, and that deserves some celebratory applause right there.
Made in Hollywood.
The Gardner Street Women's Bridge Housing Center opened its doors recently. City leaders were there to celebrate the grand opening. The center will house 30 women at a time and will include staff, security, and on-site services. The African American Caribbean Festival at Leimert Park Village was a fun-filled happening that included music from a variety of artists. The second annual event was free to the public. It's not very often that the community has a chance to recognize and thank their local firefighters. That's why Councilmember Bob Blumenfield got everyone together recently for some barbecue.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's roll the movie! Well, this is an Honor a Hero event, but we wanted to make this also a chance to meet different first responders. So we have police, we have fire, we have emergency preparedness folks. At 8 o'clock at night, we're going to show a movie, Incredibles 2, to make it fun for the whole family and make it a nice event. We also have free hot dogs and hamburgers, and the fire department's grilling it up. The firefighters have volunteered to do that.
Tonight, the LA City Fire Department Union was asked to provide the Moab, mother of all barbecues, and we cooked approximately 350 hamburgers and 300 hot dogs.
I mean, it's all about community, and this is a day about the community getting in touch with our emergency preparedness folks, our police, our fire, etc., and building community. Gotta yell loud. Hey, hold on to it. Water! Louder! Water!
I don't think they get thanked enough for what they do. You know, they risk their lives every day, and they do a great job, and we need to show them that we care, we appreciate what they do. There should be more of this, like every day, you know. Oh, they're always there, and they're like invisible heroes.
I don't think any firefighter ever considers himself a hero. It's just something we're doing for the citizens and the community, and stuff that we love to do to help our community, help our people, helping our family. The people of this city are our family.
Love tacos? Well, who doesn't, right? Then head on over to a taco festival, visit your favorite museum for free, and dust off those roller skates or rent ones for a good cause. All this in Things to Do. Councilwoman Monica Rodriguez presents the Silmar Taco Festival, a free food and music festival featuring the tastiest taco and culinary creations in the Northeast San Fernando Valley. Have a fun-filled day with live music, a taco eating contest, car show, and of course tacos from Silmar. You don't want to miss out on Silmar Taco Festival, happening Saturday, September 21st from 12 to 10 p.m. at Silmar Park. For more details, check out their listing on Eventbrite. Museum Day is a one-day event where participating museums and cultural institutions across the country provide free entry to anyone with a Museum Day ticket. These downloadable tickets are one ticket per email address and admit 2 people per ticket. Come discover LA art and culture at Museum Day 2019, happening throughout Los Angeles on Saturday, September 21st. For more details, visit smithsonianmag.com/museumday. In recognition of World Alzheimer's Day, the Grand Park Foundation hosts All Skate for Alzheimer's. Bring the whole family to check out downtown LA's first ever outdoor roller skating rink. Skate, play, and eat as we celebrate the heroic efforts and services provided daily by Alzheimer's and dementia caregivers. 3 days of fun await at the All Skate for Alzheimer's event, happening September 20th through the 22nd at Grand Park in downtown LA. For tickets, check out their listing on Eventbrite. Check out the LA Fashion Festival, where progressive ideas meet immersive cultural experiences through film, retail, and beauty. This 2-day festival includes fashion films, workshops, and pop-up experiences. The festival aims for meaningful exchanges via cutting-edge brand experiences, hands-on master classes, and thought-provoking panel discussions. Explore an event where textiles and sustainability converge. It's the Los Angeles Fashion Festival, happening September 20th and 21st at Film Studios. For more, visit lafashionfestival.com. And that's a look at some things to do. That's it for this edition. I'm Yana Kay. From all of us here at LA This Week, thanks for joining us. A reminder that you can catch us online at lacityview.org. We're also on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. See you next time for more of LA This Week.